Hi guys, Grace Lucky here with Mommy Must Haves. So today I'm going to show you how to make coffee in an espresso pot or a moka pot. Some of you might be familiar with this. I know growing up I saw this a lot, especially in my abuelita's house. My tia has one. I feel like this is such a staple for a lot of Hispanic homes. It's definitely a staple in my home, especially on the weekends when I have more time for coffee making. My son actually got me this for Christmas, and of course it's red because I have a red theme going on. Anyway, this is really cool because I feel like this just brings out the taste of coffee even more as opposed to a regular coffee pot. I would equate it to a French press, except that this goes on the stove. But I feel like that flavor that you get from a French press, if you're familiar with that, is equivalent to what you would get from a moka pot. So I'm going to refer to it as a moka pot because I just like how it rolls off of my tongue. Okay, but in making coffee this way, I have found a secret. So when I first started making coffee in this, I was filling it with cold water, and I felt like it just took way too long for the coffee to brew, and I would have to babysit it on the stove for 10 minutes, and 3 kids, 2 dogs. I just don't have time to babysit coffee in the morning, and if you know me, I need my coffee first thing when I wake up. The children don't want to see mom without coffee. So waiting 10 minutes was not an option for me. I saw this video, actually a couple of videos on YouTube, where they would boil the water first. So I have my water boiled here. So actually before I do that, I want to talk about the coffee that goes in here. You're not going to use already ground coffee because it's too fine. So you want to grind your own beans. Same thing if you have used a French press, you don't grind it too fine because it's gonna go right through the filter. So I got this bag of espresso beans from Aldi. I've also used regular coffee beans and have ground those, and it tastes really good. So whether you're using an espresso bean or regular coffee bean, they both work perfectly fine. So I have my beans in here. I'm just gonna grind it a little bit. I'm gonna keep an eye on it because I don't want it too ground. And that looks pretty good there. I'm okay with chunks of beans because I'm not eating it anyway, right? It's going into the coffee. So now that I have ground my coffee, the first thing I'm gonna do is fill this with hot water. So this valve right here, I can see it on the inside. I'm gonna fill it to right below this line. And then obviously, because this is metal, it's gonna get hot. Okay. So I'm gonna put this in here. This is the filter. And I'm gonna fill this with coffee to the top. And I'm not gonna pack it down because I want the water to freely flow through here. Try to level it off, but I'm not gonna pack the coffee down in there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna twist this on, and it's hot. Ooh. And I'm gonna take this over to the stove. Okay, so as you can see, I have my moka pot on the stove. I put it to low medium, and I'm gonna keep an eye on it. When I see that it starts to steam, I just go ahead and I peek in here. And then once I see that the coffee is coming out, I just keep on checking on it. And once I see that it's accelerating, then I'll turn off the heat, and then I'll let it finish coming all the way through. And then sometimes I have turned the heat off too soon, and not all of the water from the bottom has come up. So then I'll turn it back on to low for like a few seconds until all of the water comes out. I can see because I know where my coffee line should be because I've done this a few times. I would say this is definitely something that's gonna take maybe 2 to 3 times before you get the perfect cup of coffee. Is obviously, if you've never made it before, you're learning, trying new things, it'll take a minute. So I feel like I get my coffee faster this way when I have boiled the water, and it reduces the chances of your coffee becoming bitter. Because if you put cold water, ice cold water in there, and you're heating the water, at the same time you're also cooking the coffee grinds, which you don't want to cook that. You just want the hot water to boil through and release the flavor. So that's why I feel like this works better for me. I've had coffee both ways, hot water, cold water. I prefer the taste of the boiled water, and I feel like it's faster, it's easier. I don't have to babysit the stove. I can go check on my kids or my dogs or whatever while this is going, and I don't have to worry because I'm 10 minutes at the stove. Another thing that I do while the moka pot is heating up, I will warm up my milk in the microwave. I use 8 ounces of oat milk in my Ninja frother. Obviously, I'm a Ninja fan. So I'm gonna heat this up for 1 minute. So you can't really see, but I see steam coming, so I just pop it open and I see that coffee is coming out. I'm gonna let it go for a little bit more because the coffee has not accelerated yet. So it still has a little bit of ways to go. I always just keep an eye on it. I don't want to overcook it or the coffee will come out bitter. You can kind of see the steam a little bit there. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing. There you go. Now you can see the steam. It's really going now. And I can hear it bubbling as well. And that's why I really want to keep an eye on it because I don't want to let it go too long with the fire on. Okay, so I don't know if you saw that, but now I'm going to turn off the heat. You can hear that bubbling over. And I'm just going to let it finish. You can see it's still coming out. So now that my coffee is finishing pouring over, I'm just gonna get my milk and my sugar ready in my cup. And I'm gonna go ahead and froth this milk. If you don't have a frother, you can just use a microwave safe glass and heat some milk up and maybe try to shake it with the lid on. But I highly recommend getting a frother. You can buy these on Amazon. I'll make sure to add a link to this and okay. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and get my milk in there. Guys, look at that. Delicious. Ah! I wish you guys could try this. It's gonna be amazing. I hope that you try using a moka pot. This was such an awesome, ow, hot. This was such an awesome gift from my son, and I'm so happy that he got this for me. It's an easy way to make coffee. If you don't want to use electricity, I don't know, or try something different. If you're like, oh, I'm so over coffee, this is a great way to try something new and to make you fall back in love with coffee because it's amazing. Alrighty guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please be kind and